if you were on the book launch call yesterday, you'll remember when the call ended, Brandon made a funny comment like he bought 2 books or something. And that girl, Amber, was like, all right, thank you. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Book is out. I'm excited. I got good news, bad news. So I just found out I'm doing the audiobook, and some of the sections are misordered in phase 3. So I got a little edit to do, which is easy from my end. I just have to edit the document. You re-upload it to Amazon, and it'll work. But if you know me, you know the presentations, you know a lot of what's in here for that section. So I don't think it's a huge deal, but it's never perfect. This is why I always say progress over perfection. And it's been a busy day. So just so everybody knows, my daughter, my 1-year-old, has pulmonary hypertension. She's had that since she was born. And tomorrow she's having surgery. She's having a heart catheter. They're going up through her thigh, and they're going to close the PDA, this little tab thing in her heart. And they're going to give her a CT scan. So if you are the praying type, keep her in your prayers. She's 14 months old. So tomorrow morning is going to be tomorrow's going to be a rough day. That's for sure. But I wanted to honor the Wednesdays. The Wealth Wednesdays are something we're going to do every week. Hopefully we get more and more people to join. We'll start to see some repetitive information moving forward. But today I still have new information. So last week we talked about how to replace your bank. Brock, it's good to see you. Letitia, good to see you here. Last week we talked about how to replace your bank and why it makes sense to do that. And as much as I would love to draw on my iPad, this Apple Pencil just died on me and it won't connect. So I'm going to show you actual illustrations using life insurance to create or replace your bank, how to leverage those assets then to go buy cash flowing assets. So how to have $1 do multiple things. So if you remember, when I borrow money, I'm paying an interest rate, and it hurts my ability to grow wealth. If I save money, then spend cash, when I'm spending the cash, I've lost what that growth could have earned me for the rest of my life. That opportunity cost is calculable. It can be really expensive long-term. So if I put money into a life insurance policy first, before I go to the bank, that money in the policy is guaranteed to compound every single year. And then I call the insurance company and say, hey, look, I have $1 million in death benefit, and I have $200,000 in cash value. I want to leverage the death benefit up to the amount of cash value that I have and go buy a rental property or 401 cottage. What architect wouldn't want a 401 cottage up north? When I take the money out of the insurance company, there's no loan, there's no application for the loan, there's no credit check, there's no credit reporting, there's no debt service. I don't even have to make payments back to the life insurance company. If I had the $1 million death benefit, I take $200,000 out, I die with that loan outstanding, my wife gets the $1 million minus 200, she gets $800,000 tax-free, plus the 401 cottage that I bought up north. If we use life insurance correctly as a bank, it can fund our other cash flowing assets. So how this is all just words. What does it look like in practice? I knew you were going to ask that. Let's go. What's up, Brock? And so go to the chat box, because the only thing I don't like about this format is that I can't see all of your pretty faces. And I'm going to rely on comments in the chat box to talk to me. It's almost kind of like psychotic in here. I'm talking to myself. So talk to me through the chat box. Let me know what you're thinking during this. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go over an actual life insurance policy as an option. Now, what you're about to see is based on a fictional person. The numbers are not guaranteed. This is not financial advice. I want to give you an example, free education on how life insurance policies can be set up for someone who's, we're assuming, healthy. Okay, that's my disclaimer for everybody. All right, a lot of numbers here. So let me walk you through these columns before you start getting overwhelmed. And I zoomed in, so hopefully everybody can see this. Now, this insurance company I'm using is just one example. Depending on what the clients are trying to achieve, there's multiple insurance companies we can go to. This one is considered overfunded so that it maximizes early cash value that I can leverage over and over again. Because if you notice, on the left-hand side here, it tells you how long the policy is in force. The second column says the age. So it's a 40-year-old. So they have about 20, 25 years before they go to retire. And if you're into the retirement side, I have more on the end at the end of this call too, talk about that. So if you remember how policies can be set up, and I'm sorry I don't have my graph. If you wanted to learn how to see me do how to design a policy in the premium structure inside of the financial blueprint, we have a 10-minute video that talks about how to design a policy premium. It's all very customizable. So in this example, I'm assuming that the client is just sitting on cash because they don't trust the stock market. They don't want to lose money in Bitcoin. So they're just sitting on money in the bank, not earning very much. Maybe it's in a high yield savings. And so we start the premium with a big chunk. It's $100,000 that goes in. Do you have to do that? No, you don't. I just want to give you an example here. The $1,006.77, that's actually buying term insurance that bumps the death benefit up. If I don't have that term insurance rider on the policy, the death benefit's too low. The IRS looks at this and says, that's an investment, and we're going to tax you like an investment. So in order to be compliant for insurance companies, I just have to add on that little term rider, and I'll drop it off down the road. So you'll see in year 8, I believe, I drop off the term rider, and the death benefit way over here, the death benefit drops down substantially. Because I'm in this contract, I'm trying to maximize the cash value so I could replace my bank sooner. Okay. There's 3 main columns here: guaranteed, non-guaranteed alternate, non-guaranteed current. There's here 2 things I want you to look at. The guaranteed side, which is cool because it's guaranteed never to go down. And then the non-guaranteed side. This is also guaranteed never to go down, but it's assuming that you're going to receive a dividend inside the policy. So insurance companies can't guarantee a dividend 10 years from now. So they call it non-guaranteed. The interesting part is these insurance companies have paid dividends for over 100 years. And it's very likely they're going to continue to pay dividend, especially with high interest rates. High interest rate means debt is more expensive. Insurance companies own a lot of corporate debt, long-term bonds. So as debt gets more valuable, theoretically, the rate of return for the insurance company's portfolio is going to be valuable. And who owns the insurance company inside of a mutual contract? I do. So I get the profits when they're profitable. That's what a dividend is. So the non-guaranteed side just assumes you're going to get a dividend. And here's something that's interesting is that once the dividend is paid into the contract, it's guaranteed never to go away. Can't. So it still can't go down. So even if they stop paying future dividends, your policy still can't lose money, can't lose value because it's not predicated on the market. Can I get a let's go? Can't lose value? Who doesn't want a contract that can't lose value? Man, if you want to retire in the next 10 years, you better have assets that can't lose value to hedge against those other assets that can lose value. What's up, Tyler? I want that, Brock. Yes, you do. Thanks for being here, buddy. Okay, let's talk about this. 100,000 first year. The premium of this policy is 10 grand. That's the base premium. That goes to buy the death benefit. The next 90,000 is called a PUA, stands for paid up additional life insurance. It's money that goes directly into cash value. 94, 95% of it goes right to cash value. So you'll see, I'm going to go to the non-guaranteed side. Cash value is about $87,000. So right away, as soon as the contract's in force, there's almost 90 grand in there that the consumer can pull out or borrow against. That's a very rich early cash value policy. This is about as high as you can get. If you start getting higher, then it turns into a MEC and they become taxable. So this is one of the richest contracts that you can get, meaning early cash value. There's other contracts you can get that have more cash flow on the back end for the exit, more for a retiree. This is all about banking. So I have 100,000 going in, 90,000, almost 90,000 available. Next year, you got 40,000 plus the term. So it's $41,000 going in. In the chat box, how much did my cash value increase? Put it in the box. How much did it increase? Somebody's got to answer. A lot. The cash value was 87. Now it's 127. How much did it increase? Crickets. Crickets. Come on, everybody. Do the math on this one. Tyler, what's up, dude? How much did it increase? Steven, hi, Violetta. Gosh, good to see you here. 40K. Got it. 39,000. Thank you, Steven. Can you tell Steven's in the financial world? Just under 40K. So what does that tell us? That tells us that literally by year 2 in this design, you put in 40K, it grows by almost 40K. So where's the cost of insurance? I ask you. It's built in. This is how this stuff works. So technically the base in year 2 is 10 grand premium. And then we put 30,000 into that PUA rider, which showed up in cash. And by year 3, you're starting to see growth on your contribution. Okay. And thank you. Hopefully you're making something good. Yeah, it's growth. So now my cat. So if I put money in the bank, I put 40 grand in the bank. What do I get? 40 grand. By year 4, I put 40 grand into the bank. I get 44,000, 43,000. I'm getting a cash on cash rate of return just by making the deposit. I call the insurance, I put 40 grand in, I call the insurance company, I want to take out 42. This is how this works. Okay. Year 8, I don't want to continue to overfund this policy. I actually want to minimize the funding of the policy, and I want compounding interest or compounding growth to do its thing. So I'm going to drop, there's no more PUA, and we're just going to do that $10,000 base. What's the cash on cash rate of return? Your 10 grand turned into how much cash value? Your 10 grand turned into how much cash value? That's right, nobody, but I know you're listening and cooking, so it's $23,000. Close, Brock. 23. Your 10 grand, that's 130% rate of return on making a deposit. Last year when I put money into my policy, I got a 40% rate of return on cash. In 2022, this S&P dropped 18%. So people who watch their retirement account, they're making contributions to an account that's going down. And what does the advisor say? Don't pull the money out. It's for retirement. Yeah, but the account's going down. Don't worry, you're in it for the long run. Well, the long run will run out. Ask anybody in their 70s. They cannot experience that type of loss as they get older. So I want to minimize my contribution going in. My cash on cash rate of return is absolutely phenomenal. And I just minimize my premium. So I'm just paying 10 grand a year, and the cash value starts to explode. So by the time I'm 65, I have just under $1 million. Look at what happens to the premium at age 66. I told the software, I don't want to put any more money in. Contractually speaking, if Elon Musk puts a USB in our head and we live to 150 years old, this insurance contract will never charge more money for premiums. The insurance company cannot come back to you and say, look, we got it wrong. You guys are living a lot longer. You're going to have to keep paying premiums to keep the policy in force. Nope. Guaranteed to stop. It's called paid up. That's a insurance jargon, paid up. You might not think it, but it is. Paid up policy, meaning there's no more premiums due for the rest of your life. Okay, so it's paid up at age 66. It's still growing by $40,000. You call the insurance company every year to take out $40,000, $50,000 a year. So the banking strategy that you've used your entire life to fund your purchases, like cash flowing assets, cars, boats, all of your vacations, now becomes a supplemental retirement income stream that is off the radar screen of the IRS for income tax purposes, completely free from stock market volatility. So imagine being 70 years old and the stock market drops 20% like it did 2 years ago. You're not going to go take money out of an account that just went down 20%. You want that money to stay there and grow back with the market. Call the insurance company and take your income out that way. So now you don't have to touch the market. You allow it to rebound. You use the life insurance to supplement your income. You don't even have to take out as much because remember, there's no reporting to the IRS. That means your Social Security is tax-free, your Medicare is tax-free. You can pull out $300,000 and qualify for food stamps because you show no income. Pretty cool stuff. Now, when I get into retirement years, there's a number of ways to pull money out. I could literally, like, even up here, I could start taking money out. Let's talk about that. Let's say I'm going to take money out. Okay. Everybody do me a favor in the chat box. How much cash value is at age 50? Tyler, you can borrow it as many times as you want. There is no penalty. There might be a service fee to process a loan, but I think that's very nominal. And I saw someplace it's like you can't take more than 20 loans out in a month, which if you're doing that, you're misunderstanding how this is supposed to be used. So short answer is not really. Not really. There's no penalties or limits to how many times you can pull the money out. Oh no. Okay, never mind. All right. Steve got it right. My cash value, and you're correct. My cash value in year 10 at age 50 is $424,399 to the penny. Okay. I'm going to scroll down. So blink because I'm going to put tons of numbers on the screen. Just hold on. I'm going to scroll. Okay. Let's say you're from Louisville. You're trying to make it big here in the big city of Nashville. You got a girlfriend. You might want to get married soon. You want to invest in a property where you could turn it in, you could flip. Okay. You got a great deal. This house needs some work though. Okay. Let's say here at age 47, you call the insurance company and say, hey, look, I want to leverage my death benefit. I want to pull out $100,000 from the $300,000 of cash value that I had. Send me a check for $100,000. Okay. If you died with the loan outstanding, the death benefit would be $2.821 million. Your spouse or beneficiary would still get $2.8 million tax-free. Notice it didn't go down dollar for dollar because when you take a loan, the policy is still going to grow. This is where it's all going to be like, holy smokes, they didn't know how it worked. They work like this. You get into this new project and it's your first time doing a real estate flip and you have tons of problems. So you're a year into this thing. You've made no debt payments to the insurance company. Why? Because they don't care. They'll just take the debt off of the death benefit when you're dead. So they don't care if you make debt payments. And your money is doing what? It's going into the rental. You're trying to fix this up. It needs paint. It needs structural work. You have to get all new appliances. You got to decorate the thing. So the next year, you don't want to put money into the policy. Shoot, you want to take another loan out for another $30,000. So you call the insurance company. Hey, look, I'm not giving you money for a premium this year. I want to leverage this bank. I need 30 more grand to finish the project. Finally finish the project, and it looks better than you expected. Real estate market does well. You flip, you sell the property. Okay. You will owe tax on the sale of the rental property or the flip on that growth. You're going to owe tax on that outside transaction. What do you do with the growth? You put it into your bank where you're getting a 0% rate of return, or do you fund your policy and repay the loan that you took out? You put back $165,000 into the policy. Even after you pay the interest, the cash value grows by $178,000. Let me say this again. You put in $165,000 to pay off your loan and the interest from the insurance company. The insurance company didn't recognize your loan. They were continuing to pay your dividends and the guaranteed growth in the policy, even though the money was in the flip. You pay off the loan, you flip the house, you pay off the loan, the insurance company goes, great, you're back to square one. We're going to give you $178,000 of growth, even though you only gave us $165,000. Thanks for paying the interest off. And what's my cash value at age 50? This is where I drop the microphone. What's my cash value? Steven says the same. Ann says the same. Here's a dumb question, but I always ask this. Is it kind of the same or exactly the same? And then people usually laugh or smile, get a little chuckle. Exactly the same. The policy is going to do what it does, regardless if you fund it or not. This is why I'm so passionate about life insurance versus other types of assets, because it's like a Swiss Army knife. You can do so many things with it. It's not put money in and forget it. It's like, I'm going to put money in, take care of the family. I'm going to pull it out and go do what I want. And the insurance company rewards me. You know who else rewards me? The IRS. If I died with the loan outstanding, my wife still gets $1.4 million tax-free. Money in motion will stay in motion. Get your money working for you. The reason I'm passionate about life insurance versus other assets, because I have clients that I talk to often about debt, other people's money, and there's a lot of talk out there about HELOCs, home equity lines of credit. Home equity lines of credit work the same way, because if I borrow against the house, it theoretically doesn't affect the value of the home, right? So I could use the HELOC as a bank. The challenge is this: it's reportable as a loan. You have to prove income to get it. It shows up on your credit report, which means it affects your ability to get other loans. They want monthly payments back. The interest rates are floating and they've gone through the roof in the last year. My HELOC is at 10%. And here's the biggest, most crucial part, everybody, that we don't think of. If I'm borrowing against the house for a HELOC, I'm the underlying asset that I've leveraged. I'm using financial terms so you can start to learn what this means. The underlying asset that I leveraged, in other words, the house which I'm borrowing against, is not guaranteed to go up in value. Is it likely? Long term, I think absolutely. But every year? No. 2 years ago, my house is worth more than it is today. I think as the market bubbled and it's coming back down to normal. But for a while there, we thought the house was worth even more. So when I borrow against an unstable asset, I run the risk of that underlying asset depreciating in value. I'd have to pay the loan back immediately. And if I got my money working outside in like a flip or a business venture and it's not liquid, I could really come into some problem by being over leveraged. This is why Dave Ramsey hates debt, because he went bankrupt. He was over leveraged. That's his fault. He's the one who did it wrong. If I have 100 grand of debt and 100 grand in life insurance, I'm solvent. Call the loan. I'll pay it off with my life insurance. That's okay. But using other people's money can help me get rich. And it starts by understanding the simple concepts of banking. I should never borrow from a bank to take a loan for a car again. Do you? Sure. Sometimes you want to show credit, keep a loan for 6 months, pay it off, help the credit score jump up, all good. But your underlying asset, that life insurance, should be the recipient of your cash flow. Money gets stuffed into the life insurance, family's taken care of. I call the insurance company and then go buy what I want that's going to pay me cash flow, which is like real estate, which I get to depreciate and deduct and all that stuff. I have said a ton. I'm sweaty. My voice is killing me. This morning we were recording the audiobook. I've probably been talking for 4 hours today. Does this help? Was this nice to see? Oh, I already went over the retirement stuff. Yeah, you get cash flow and retirement. So your bank doubles as a retirement income stream. Does this help everybody? Violetta, Purple Heart, I love it. Thank you. I check your email too, Violetta. I sent you an email regarding Joseph. Very helpful. Letitia, thank you for that. I'm looking forward to talking with you soon. You also have an email that you can I can resend if you need. Tyler, I like having a visual. Should send this out. I'm not big on that, bro. I'm not big on sending out illustrations because then people go talk to everybody, get opinions. And if I'm not explaining how this works, too many guesses take place. I'm trying to look for a better verb there, but people don't know how it works, so they're explaining it wrong. It's just not a good idea to send this stuff out. I really like to customize these things beforehand. And so that's why I'm using dumb numbers for a 40-year-old. This policy I actually sell quite a bit of because people like the numbers and they're like, dude, let's just do what you're showing me. I have 130 grand in the bank. Let's put 100 into the policy to get that thing started. So that's cool. Tyler, you want it. That's cool. Maybe. Yes, Violetta, no problem. I'm probably going to upload these to YouTube. I'll have a playlist of recorded Wealth Wednesdays. So if you can't make it, we'll have the recording. And then my tech team, Tyler, who's I think he was on earlier, is a stud. So he'll be able to send out the past week's recording to your email with a direct link. We're still formalizing that. This is all kind of new. Tyler helps other advisors who are crushing it in this space. And I think he likes the way that I present, which is flattering, and he wants to do the same stuff for me. So I'm trying to learn how to do these. This is like the fourth time I've done it. I don't like not being able to see everybody's face. But if we can get 100 people on here, I think that's what they tell me. That's the way you're supposed to do it. So I'll make sure you get the recording. Absolutely. And when we're hanging out in Texas, you know, we got all the time in the world. We can do this for hours. It would be incredibly boring, but I could do it for hours. Thank you, Stephen. Hope all goes well tomorrow with the baby. Appreciate that. The two older ones just went with grandma, spend the night over there. We got to go to the hospital at 6 a.m. Wish us luck. Guys, you're the best. Thank you for being here. I'll make sure that the recording gets uploaded. Kent, I don't know who you are. Thanks for being here. Letitia, look forward to catching up soon. Violetta, same thing. David, let's talk on the phone, dude. Would love to see what you're looking for. And Ann, I think I know you up in Michigan, so we're good. If you want to catch up, I'd love to talk. But David, I'll give you a buzz. Ken, I'll give you a buzz here in a little bit and see if this is what you guys are looking for. And if there's anything else you want me to cover, just let me know.